Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you guys so much. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. As always, Brooke is here with us, and we say thank you to you, Brooke.
Hello.
Hey, I'm sorry. I apologize. I always mess up on the intro. I don't even know how to do it anymore. I apologize. So please forgive me, bro.
I guess it's
Sorry.
these energies. We're all like scatterbrained. We all have like so much going on through our heads right now.
Yeah, yeah. It's just every time I always like how do I don't even think about it. It just comes out, and sometimes I'm like, probably could have did that a little bit better, but
Hey,
I
we're
apologize.
human, kind of.
Indeed. Nice. So we do have an awesome show today, I think. I mean, there have been messages that Brooke and I have been getting that are so exactly the same thing. It's so amazing how they're to see them working. So we definitely want to dive into that and a couple messages um that have come through for us that are really interesting. They definitely have been revealing a new um I don't know, what would you call that, Brooke? Oh, like an achievement level, if you will. I don't know.
uh yeah, I don't know if it's
Like the
and then
Transcendent Master thing that we
yeah, and then so I'm kind of torn on whether because we're talking about Transcendent Master, which is a new term that Chris just recently got, and I'm actually a little torn between is it an achievement level or is it your role?
Yeah, you know what? That's a great question. I'm a little, you know what? We'll have to go in and channel about that. But and maybe they'll even come in and talk to us about that. As far as like what it is, but look,
Because all of us here are playing such different roles,
yeah, exactly.
and
Exactly.
it's like,
Yes.
is this your role in the game to where like my role in the game is labeled starseed,
Yeah. Mhm.
and so it's like, are we just in this world full of there are star seeds, there are transcendent masters, there are enlightened beings, there are light beings, there are all different people on all different paths, all different beings on all different paths, but we're all here working together.
Starseed DNA just came in. Man, I'm feeling that hard. Starseed DNA. Whew. To
You
tap
want to go?
into your starseed DNA. Mm, I am feeling that so strongly right now. I don't even know what that is, but I am getting it so deep. Ugh.
I think they're getting ready to tell us.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel a lot of energy. No, okay, so, but they're not coming in.
Okay.
Just as we say that, I feel like it all backed off, and I
All
heard
right. So
no. Go
let me
ahead,
write
proceed.
that down so I can look into it.
I did. I just did as well for you, but yeah, definitely. So
Because
let me go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
it's just also tricky because, it's like, so, I'm told I'm a star seed, but then you have other people that believe that we're all star seeds. And then I tried to resonate with that for a little bit and then I didn't. And then it's crazy because, like I said, we all have these different roles and we are these all different beings that I think are here working for like a same purpose,
Mm-hmm.
but we're all here playing different roles.
I completely agree. It's like the links in the chain that we discussed. We
Yeah,
all
exactly.
have our own place in that process. And the puzzle piece, these different metaphors that we've used, the puzzle isn't complete without all of our pieces being put together.
Yeah. So
So
go. I
yes.
want to hear. I want to hear what about the Transcendent Master. If
Yeah, okay.
what we
So
found on.
yeah, that was really interesting. So, ladies and gentlemen, we've said before, both Brooke and I have said we it is a great idea to build your spiritual support team. Well, what I've done over the past couple months is I have been building a list of all the archangels that I come across, all the names, not that I channel, but that I see on different websites. I'll look them up, search them, I will. And then another one is Ascendant Masters. I have created an entire list of, I think it was 78 different Ascended Masters, and I want to say 22 or so different Archangel names. And and what I'll do is I'll read this list, and I will, when I read the list, I'll just see what one resonates with me,
Okay.
or many of them. I'll like see how many out of the entire over 100 people or close to 100 names. I'll just see what ones resonate, and then when I go in, I'll just call out the ones that resonated with me and that I remember, and that's how I know that they resonated. I just remember them. So
And
what
when
I'm
we talk about Ascended Masters, I just want to make sure like I'm right. So, we're talking about like Jesus, Buddha, Muhammad. So, and they come from all different, like almost like each descendant and every nationality and every faith and every from all over the world is
ex-
where these Ascended Masters are from, right?
exactly right. As a matter of fact,
Okay.
it's exactly right. And as a matter of fact, the one Ascendant Master that told me about this Transcendent Master is a Japanese sun goddess, Amaterasu. Spelled, let me see here, Amar Eterasu, Amaterasu. And it was interesting because the night before she told me this information, she appeared to me twice. And I saw her with this stuff. It looked like painting around her eyes. And I'm like, what is that? I don't know what it is. And after I saw that, I started to look up images of her. And no kidding, I saw an image of her with this red paint across her face. And that's exactly how I saw her. So anyway, the next day I was channeling and she comes in and she starts talking about transcendent masters. Now, I've never heard of the term, never knew anything about it, still only know what she has told me. So I think she introduced us to a new achievement level that our souls can accomplish on here on earth. And this is what she said to me: transcendent masters are transcending this realm. Now, this is where this stuff gets crazy awesome. I sent this, I looked up the word transcendent. Now, it is a word that I've heard before, I've even used. However, when I look up the definition, it means to rise above or go beyond the limits of. So now that I did not know. And it specifically says, um, it specifically in the definition references the universe and material existence. And I'll show you right here, see if you can see it. So
Yeah, it's clear.
transcend right here, it says the universe and material existence. So that's pretty damn crazy. So she says transcending this realm. Now let me just read that definition, other definitions: to triumph over the negative or restrictive aspects of slash overcome, to be prior to, beyond, and above the universe or material existence. It's mind in my mind, mind blowing. So
So,
she's go, yes.
again, how we say that our communications are always overlapping. I get in my car this morning and I don't have a station that I listen to a preacher on,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm riding to work and the station is on. And this preacher is talking about those from God overcome this world,
No
are able
shit.
to overcome this world. And so as soon as you said that, and like that was a thought I've had all day, because with all that's going on in the world right now, I've been questioning myself and like my humanitarianism, because I'm not feeling drawn to any of this. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, and then it's come to me that's like, because you've overcome this,
Yup.
like this is something that's playing out here for others, you're just kind of watching all of this play out, because I don't feel in it at all. And a part of
Exactly.
me will feel bad, like, well, shouldn't I be? If I'm a human, shouldn't I be in this, and shouldn't I have like a stance, or shouldn't I? And I don't.
Mm-hmm.
And I was
Exactly.
questioning that in myself on why I don't. And I think it's just simply because that is something of this world that I've overcome it. I've, you know,
So I look at that. I think you're absolutely right, Brooke. And I look at that as you, me, and our audience here are here for a purpose of breaking that cycle of low
Yeah.
vibration. Because a lot of people that are engaged in it are judging and looking at right and wrong.
Yeah.
And when we're all one, there is no right and wrong.
Yeah.
And that is exactly what we're
Yeah.
talking about today. We are
Yeah.
going to get into that, how we are one with the darkness. We have got to embrace our
Yeah.
darkness.
Because no
Man,
matter, people may have standpoints right now, and obviously each individual feels like that's what's true to them, this side, that side, this side. But the bottom line is it's all division. That's all it is. Whether you're
exactly.
somebody like, I'm gonna get the shot, I'm not gonna get the shot. I'm with this person, I'm with that person. Oh, that person said this, that. But either way, no matter how you slice and dice it, it's division. It's a
Exactly.
game. So you're either in this game of division or you're not, because you're standing in unity.
A freaking men. Absolutely. Yes. Guys, man, that is what Brooke just said is absolutely yes. That is everything they tell us. Is absolutely right. So a freaking men. Good,
Yeah.
nice, good, sweet. That's awesome stuff. Yeah, exactly right.
Thanks. It just
And
came out.
and I'm serious, that is what our purpose is here, guys. You, me, like me, Brooke, you guys, you, the listeners of this, that is what our purpose is, to, like they said, transcend this
Yes.
low
And
vibration.
anybody that chooses to do that, anybody
Exactly.
can choose to do this.
Exactly. And we
Yeah.
are going to share some stories with you guys today that compound and add to this system of information that we're getting in this belief system. So, I'll just go through this real quick, and we have so much more to share with you guys. So, all right, we are transcending this realm. That's the first aspect of of a transcendent master. Rising, second is rising in vibration. So obviously what we just said here, by us separating, or by us not judging or being one with our differences, if you will, not separating ourselves but actually being one with them, we are rising in vibration. We are choosing to be love and not judge, but allowing people to develop as they will and seeing us as one.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I just said it's so easy right now with all that's going on to get caught up in a picking the right side, and this side is right or that side is right. It's so easy to get caught up in that and still thinking that you're picking the right side when
Yes.
really you're still picking division.
Exactly. There is no right or wrong. Both, all is as it should be, you
Yeah.
know? Um, but then, okay, so it's interesting, because the next one, the third point that she pointed out to us was allows for discord in others in this realm to be released. That is powerful, guys. That tells you what our purpose is right there, in my opinion. That
Mhm.
and this is what a transcendent master does. We break that cycle. We, as a collective, though, Brooke, me, and you, the listener, we are here to break that cycle, and that's what that allows for discord and others to in this realm to be released. We break it. We infuse light into this situation. We accept our oneness and our beauty. That's huge.
Yeah.
Next one, really, and please interrupt me, Brooke, if you don't, if
Yeah.
you have
No, go
something. Okay.
ahead.
All right. The next one is releases density, shedding, and overcoming, bringing in more light. So again, that's just more of the same thing, where we are accepting our oneness and we are just infusing more light into this realm. One next point she made was it is one of true beauty. Next is lived many lifetimes in this realm, an old soul. So that makes a lot of sense, I'm sure, for many of us. Next is, and this is actually the last point that she made, and it's a huge one. Achieved a certain level of attainment. that will bring about greater fruitions for him slash her in their lifetimes to come, including the present. So, based on the amount of like work that we have put in to this light and this effort of growing our aura, expanding our aura, allowing more light to come into this realm, and allowing more light to be shined through us. Because of that, we have gotten to a certain level to where it's just basically you're going to experience a lot of good. Now, what is interesting about that is right after she said that, right after she channeled that message, she also said, and she made this very clear, you will always experience discord. She made
Yeah.
that very clear. What she said is that, and I didn't write it down, but it's an extremely important point. She said it is she is not saying that transcendent masters are without discord. She
Right.
just said what it is you handle it differently, in that you bring light into that situation rather than focus on the discord. You focus on the what brings us together, and
Yes.
that in and of itself, it will make it so that all your situations will be looked at with positivity.
Yeah, because as long as we're on this realm, we will experience density. And
Exactly.
but it is our job and the viewer's job, and anybody who chooses to step into the darkness and be the light.
Exactly.
Not to engage with the picking a side, not to, even if it sounds good, even if it, like I said, even if it sounds good. But there may be people whose roles here right now are to pick, like, there has to be some actors in the play.
Yeah,
There has to be some people involved in the play.
it's a great
So
point.
those people that feel that deeply to make this their fight, my personal truth, I can't tell them that that's not what they're supposed to be doing. I don't know
Mhm.
that maybe their role in this play right now. We all have different roles right now. We have to have actors in the play. We have to have villains. We have to have heroes.
Well, Archangel Michael said it. Not everyone is ascending at this time. Not
Yeah.
everyone is here. Not everyone here is to ascend at this time. So you're absolutely right. Yes, and it's so interesting to watch their messages. Their messages are so consistent. Nothing
Yeah.
ever changes there.
No.
So, and okay, so with the transcendent master thing, just to give you guys a heads up, that's something that we can begin to. So, like, we might not be able to be an ascendant master, at this moment in time, but this is something that all of us can do.
Yeah.
We can all obviously, live in a certain many lifetimes. That's you just have to go through experience, but the other stuff, breaking the cycles, bringing in the light, that's all we can all do that, right? Raising in vibration, transcending this realm. We can all do that.
Yeah. And I do, like, the more you say it, because I was trying to see if it was a different, like, label thing, but no, that is what we are all here. The whole point of being here is learning to rise above this.
Exactly.
Like, that's the whole, that's it. It's
Exactly.
learning to not get all involved in this matrix, all involved in this discourse, but
Mhm.
to be able to rise above it and even dip down and maybe help some other people out of it, you
Totally.
know?
Yep.
And you can tell when you're trying to help somebody or talk to somebody, you can grasp very quickly whether they are willing or even want to begin to step out of the darkness. Like, I
Mhm.
have friends that have certain views, and I can go in and kind of go, hey, and they'll go, tell me more. But then, you have other people that are just like, this is my story and I'm sticking to it. And it's
Yep.
like, okay, well, plant the seed. Let me just move on to
Mhm.
somebody who I can maybe like help out a little bit. But all we can do is plant seeds. We can't change somebody's mind or, get so furious at them or have enough PowerPoint messages to change their mind. It's a matter of when their consciousness begins to raise. And then hopefully, with our consciousness going to them, that is going to help start it.
Okay, so that is an awesome. I have to bring this up because that is a great point, Brooke. So I have been reading a lot about certain studies that have been done throughout the past decades. And it takes 1% of people to begin to transmute a collective. So, and Brooke and I were talking about this the other day. It takes one person in a household to transmute that energy and to begin to shift energy. It takes 1% of the population to begin to shift that energy. And there was a study done on helium to prove this point. What they did was they were they broke up the helium pattern movement patterns with like certain vibrations, so they made it act erratically. And I apologize, I'm not a scientist, so I'm not familiar with how they
Yeah.
do this, but energetically they shifted the pattern of movement that helium was doing and made it erratic. And they showed you how showed you what they did and how it was moving. But then what they did was, so all this helium that was in this contained location that they were disrupting, they put in 1% helium that was completely um, within its like I'll say a higher vibration. It was in its
Okay.
natural vibrative state.
Okay.
So they put that, which would be equivalent to a soul, they interjected that helium into this large quantity of helium that was erratic. And that 1% shifted the entire helium into its natural pattern, and everything worked itself out. So they use that as a scientific study to show how um, people that are raising in conscious level, raising in vibration, can affect the collective. It only takes
Yeah.
1%.
Yeah. And this is where I know we say it so many times. This is where mindfulness is so important because we are only human. So there's going to be times where it's very easy for us to just, it's so much easier to jump into that discourse at times and jump into, even if, especially if it's something that is a passion in you and you do want to kind of pick this side, or you do want to, that's why we have to be very conscious of what it is we're actually doing and mindful of, is it more important to jump in because somebody's going to think you sound right, or is it more important to jump in for the purpose of unity,
Mm-hmm.
and raising consciousness? So
Exactly.
we're going to have our moments, as humans, we're going to have our moments, but then we have to go, wait a minute, what am I doing here? Oh, I just joined in. No, no, no. Pull back.
Yes, that's exactly right. And there was another study I will tell you actually to that they used to prove this. And I'm getting this information. I will tell you, I was reading about Stephen Greer. And if you look him up, he's all over YouTube. He has a number of different movies out on Amazon um, Video, and yeah, he has. I think he even has some books out. He has an app. So that's who I've been looking at him a lot lately, actually for a couple of years now. But anyway, the other study that I heard about was one where they went into like an inner city, and what they did is they sent 2,000 people into an inner city, which in this particular city that was equivalent to about 1% of the population.
Okay.
And what they realized, these meditators went in there and basically did light work in the area. And what they started to see was a decrease in hospital visits and in illnesses, because these light workers were going in there. This 1% was going in there and they were doing their work, and they were starting to align all the other metaphoric helium um, energies, and to bring it all in line into a loving, peaceful, embraceful type of alignment.
Yeah. I mean, if you just think about it, how powerful that is. And like, I see it in my building at work, because there's more than, you figure we have, say, 60 staff members, but we have a very beautiful building of people. So there's definitely more than 1% in there doing this work. And there is something unique about our school building as opposed to even other buildings in the district. But if you just think about, because I'm sure everybody listening here, most of us have jobs or a place we go where there's people. And like we're saying that you can go in, and if there's 100 people and there's you, your consciousness can influence all of that.
Mhm.
Walking through the mall, going to a gathering, and on your way there, like a friend of mine even said on her way somewhere, her and her family will say, you know, light be with us and let us while we're here be the light. And they actually say that on the car rides to whether it's a party or a vacation or where there's going to be people, they always say, let us be the light when we get here. you
Mhm.
know
Mhm.
but yeah, it's
It's
just it's
awesome.
just it's pretty cool how we were so set up for success. He's not saying, universe isn't saying it's got to be half of you, it's got to
Mhm.
be 80%. he's
Mhm.
he's made it, he's set us up for success. It's
Ex
1% of us can make this difference.
Yes. And we were saying in the last podcast too that sacrifice is important because sometimes we're like, well, you know, I don't have the time to do this work. And well, what can we give up to start to do this work and become that 1% to affect change on a monumental level, to bring in
Yeah.
so much more light. But part of that, as we were saying earlier, is to begin to embrace this darker side of us, I guess. This
Yeah.
low vibration. We embrace it because we don't send hatred or frustration to the low vibration. We send love to it, which
Love.
brings it
Yeah.
peace. But if you could share your labyrinth story, because this is where Brooke and I got the exact same message in two different formats here.
So my guides tend to speak to me through movies. They'll have me watch a movie, listen to a song. And the latest movie they've brought to, because I've been saying for like months, like I understand, like in me and myself, I understand that everything is of the light, including darkness. The light has created darkness. But I never knew how to verbally explain that to anyone. Some people are like, what do you mean the dark is from the light's the opposite? So they had me watch this movie, Pan's Labyrinth. And if you're looking for an English version of it, there's not an English version. It is all in Spanish. You have to read subtitles. And it's your very typical movie of all of the movies we have that show us light versus dark. But the difference between this one and the other ones, you're gonna have to like figure that out. This one, it makes it so obvious because the little girl is going to this creature who is very much befriended her and all this, and you can tell that this creature is being sly and tricky with her, and that it's of the darkness. um but when the movie ends and she has passed her last test, she's back in this other realm with her true mother and father, and saying like, you passed that last test. And of course it was this horned being giving her the test. Well, out from under their thing, he comes out, and he is also joyous that she passed her test. It's like the
Mm,
light created him to
yes.
test her. And the one thing she never was, which this movie, I'd have been scared at a lot of points if I was her, she had no fear. You're like, this little
Yes.
girl had no fear.
Yes.
And that was, and that's key too, is they will the darkness tries to scare you, tries to make you afraid, tries to make you run.
Yes.
But but you have this light behind you, it's, do not be afraid. Do not be afraid. But yes, he was from the light that created him to be able to test her. And like I said, they get back to the light, and he's just as happy as the mother and father were that she passed. He wanted her to pass.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love when they do that and we get these messages and they are just like so together completely. And now I will share an experience that shows you guys what Brooke just said, the message that she just got. and how it tied in. So I did some light work on a farm. No kidding, was watching a show. This freaking farm reached out to me. It had a low vibrational entity and a high vibrational, not a high vibrational, a trapped soul basically on the premises that was causing people to have fear. It was moving stuff. It was doing things on the farm that were not necessarily good or raising people's vibration. Well, okay, so when I saw this happening, I started to get communication from the farm. The trap Saul started to reach out to me, which was so crazy to me. But over the course of a couple of days, I continued to get information and contact from the farm. So what I did was, I reached out to the owner of the farm and told them what happened, told them how I got contact from the show that they were on, and I haven't heard back from them. But I said, screw it, I'm doing my work anyway because this soul reached out to me
Yeah.
and I need to help it, So
Which
I
is
needed to.
crazy because this farm is in California, yet through this, you got that communication just through the show. That's nuts.
It really is. It blew my mind as well, but it's just
Yeah.
awesome. So I went to do my work, right? And as I'm doing my light work, clearing this energy, no kidding, exactly what Brooke said, they started to try to use fear to get me to stop. And what they started to do was show me images of people in my life. And it was making me believe it want no, I'm sorry, it wanted me to believe that um it was going to use them and their vibrations to get to me. So it was going to start to put low vibrations in them so that it would cause low vibrations in me. I would get frustrated with these people. And I'll tell you one thing that happened. I woke up one morning and I heard this thing say, I'm going to get you. Now this is all low vibration, guys. You don't send you when you hear this, do not all I'm hoping that you say is thank you for sharing that. And that's what I did to this entity. This entity was like, I'm going to get you. And I was like, thank you for revealing yourself. Thank you for showing me who you are. I appreciate that. And that vibration, that gratitude that I just expressed transmutes that energy. I now
Yeah.
feel good. So when I was doing the work, when I heard that, I just woke up and I heard that outside of a sleep. And I told my wife, and my wife says, oh my gosh, I had bad dreams about you all night long. Well, I was looking back at my notes, and several times that I've done clearing work on people to help transmute energy around the country, I have noticed that my wife had bad dreams about me every time. So, what was happening was they were using her energy to try to get to me to lower mine. It didn't
Yeah.
work, and it's not working now, but that's what they were doing. They were holding on to her. And when I was doing the light work on the farm, they extended it out to more people that I knew. But all I did was continue to take a grateful attitude to them showing themselves and me sending it love, and it completely changed it all.
Yes.
And none of it came to fruition because we transmuted that energy. And
Yeah.
that is why you were saying about the fear. That is why you never show fear. You always show gratitude and love.
Yeah. And that's, because that's the thing. Like, you're confronted with like a negative energy, and the first thing we think we want to do is combat that negative energy and like be
Yes,
towards it. That'll
exactly.
just do nothing but exacerbate it to where
Yes,
you take a negative, dark energy and you send it love and gratitude. That's what they can't handle. Their
exactly.
last ditch effort is to make you afraid because
Yep.
they know as soon as you send it love or gratitude, they're toast. They're
Yep.
done. There's
Exactly right.
nothing that love and gratitude cannot kick fear's butt.
Yep.
Yeah.
And one of the things that it kept doing after it started showing me all these images and it wasn't working with me, it saw that. So then what it tried to do was block. It completely shut off what felt like it shut off my third eye. I was struggling to see things. So that's when I called upon the spirit animal of the hawk to show me a higher perspective. And I literally could see myself in a hawk's almost vision, as if I were in the hawk looking down. I was able to look upon the farm from the hawk's perspective, and that allowed me back in. I was able to use that perspective to get back into the farm and then continue to do the work. And we'll have another podcast about spirit animals and spirit totems. But go ahead,
Because
bro.
that's the crazy part of that, is that for weeks you've been talking about a hawk, like
Yes.
for weeks. And it's so funny. And that's how they go. It's like something will be put into your life and you won't have an understanding at the time. But then now you've realized now the significance of that hawk that you've been talking about for weeks now. And I
Yeah.
mean, honestly, your talk of hawks has gone back way longer than that, but it's just these last couple of weeks you've been bringing the hawk back up. And then this situation happens. And then you knew what to do because that hawk has been being shown to you.
Well, it's exactly right, Brooke. And that is why us growing our spiritual support team, which includes our spirit animals, spirit totems, it includes all of that, why it is so important, because you can begin to use all of what they specialize in at different moments in time to help transmute this energy.
Yeah.
It just all comes back to, how powerful we really are.
Yeah. And I don't think I mentioned this, or did I, on the last podcast? A friend of mine called me and she was just like, Brooke, she's like, my husband said to call you because you're the only person crazy enough that will like understand what I'm saying. And I think I did tell the story where she was asleep and felt discourse behind her. And she's like, that's the only way I know to explain that, is that I felt this like darkness and discourse behind me.
I
And
don't
she
think
said,
I don't remember this.
yeah, I didn't know if I actually ended up saying it or not. But so this is a friend of mine, and she calls me. She's like, I have to talk to you because I don't know who else to talk to about this, which is why a lot of us are here. Like the listeners that are listening right now, we're here to guide these people who this may have been a normal conversation for me and Chris, but for my friend, she didn't know who else to talk to about this. And she was just in a sleep state, but she swears she was awake. Whether she was lucid dreaming or not. And she felt a darkness behind her. She's like, I don't know how to explain it other than just chaos and discourse. And she's like, and she even felt like a shove in the back of her pillow at some point, like, to get her attention about this discourse that was happening behind her in her room. And she said at first she was afraid and kind of couldn't move and didn't know what to say. And she's a very faithful person. And so she was able to gain the strength to call on the light. And she sent the light there. And she's like, it just stopped.
Mm.
She's like,
Mm.
everything just stopped. And so, like, I told her, I was like, this was you literally being shown how powerful you are and how powerful we all are when we use the light and we call on the light. This is what we are all capable of. You
Yep.
call on the light, we all hold this amazing power to literally shut the darkness down and the
It,
discourse and the chaos.
it is what you just described. There is the intention, her intention of not
Yeah.
wanting to work with that, but to rather work with the light.
Yeah.
And that is exactly, I mean, it goes in line with what our souls, it's just reminded me of a story I channeled for somebody before, where Brooke, it is exactly what you just said there. And it is proving to me that our souls do use some of this lower vibration to get us to rise, which I mean, yeah, we've said that before. I get it. Yes. But when you start to see it in different manifestations, like what your friend just experienced,
Yeah.
I mean, you almost have to believe that her soul allowed that to happen so that she would go rise, and start to
And
work with
now
the
she
light.
sees the power she holds. That's what I told her. I was like, do you see? I was like, and that was just a metaphorical situation in your room. I said, but they're showing you that if you go out into the world, that this is the power you hold. So
Yup,
yes, the darkness was showing her the light.
exactly. And
Yeah.
I'll tell you, like Brooks movie, the Pan's Labyrinth, Another way that they were talking to us this week was I was given a song that I've been listening to for quite some time now, but never listened to it from this perspective. And this week, at the same time Brooke was getting her Pan's Labyrinth message, I got this song popped up again on my on in my playlist that played that I was listening to a while back. It came up again, and it's called "The Darker Side of Me" by a group called Fivefold. I used to play Fivefold when we started this podcast over a year ago, and it hit me that it was a soul talking to its human self. And basically, he's saying that if you don't start to follow me, I'm going to start showing you the darker side of me
Yes.
because I need to get you to rise.
Yes.
So it fits with what your friend experienced. It fits what you're saying there, Brooke. Oh my gosh. It's
Yeah.
so awesome.
Yeah. It is awesome.
It
But
really
it
is.
that's why I said it, but they've been telling me forever that everything is the light. And I took
Yes.
me forever to kind of really grasp what they meant. And now it's finally all coming to full like, oh yes, it is all of the light.
Yeah. And to see how it all like unravels, here, how it all is happening, like the low vibrations, they really do hold on to our low vibrations. And that's why the low vibrations were going to it was showing me other people because it was saying, hey, we're going to affect other people to try to scare you. But you don't allow that to affect you. You still proceed on with your light work because that is our purpose.
Yeah.
That is literally how we do rise above. Man, that's huge. And it's hitting me on another level, guys. That
Yeah.
is
And then I
huge.
know as you're saying that, I'm sitting here thinking, like, oh man, if each one of us began to understand this, we wouldn't need the darkness to give us lessons anymore. And it really
A
would all be the light.
a freaking men. So true, Brooke. So true. But
Oh,
I'm telling you, you know what though? Like, and this is another thing that happened this week. It was what was it, Monday or Tuesday? There was a major shift in this atmospheric energy. There was some kind of shedding that was happening, some kind of release,
yeah.
something happened. I don't know, but we all felt it in some kind of sleep issue. I know, Brooke, what you were saying that your friend was saying something about animals or something that they were feeling.
Yeah. So, Chris is letting me know about like this shift. And, usually I end up knowing when there's shifts because I have a lot of people calling me and like going, oh, well, this would be a question Brooke will answer. Why is this happening? Why is that happening? Why? And this week there were so many things. Like I had a friend talking about it was her and her brother talking about why are our cats doing this? Why are they like running around more than they're chewing on stuff? They're kind of being more crazy than usual. I've had people call me this week with shortness of breath, heart palpitations, even my grandmother going to the hospital. And I even told her yesterday, I was like, I'm going to try to explain this energy thing to you. Because, she's wanting to get on meds now. She's wanting to get on, and I'm like, well, no, you probably won't need them if you just let this energy pass. It's just, but from the time Chris told me this, I was like, this makes so much sense because I've seen it. I've seen, so much of this week of people calling me on how they're feeling and what's going on. And so we just had a big wave. And I feel like that wave is still here, but I'm
Hmm.
feeling it like when waves first come, they kind of affect me. Maybe we're all different, I'm sure.
Yeah,
But for
definitely.
me, when a wave of energy first comes in, I feel not good. I'm like
Hmm.
usually a little testy. I'm a little this, I'm a little that. And then as it starts to like come down a little bit, that's when I start feeling the good effects of it.
Hmm.
So like I
Hmm.
feel like today and yesterday was my first days of feeling the good effects of it,
Yep.
and then I guess, we'll plateau for a little bit and then another wave of energy will come in, you know.
Yes.
I'm
Yes.
sure if God had it his way, he'd zap us hard with this energy, but we wouldn't be able to handle it.
Yeah.
So it has to come in waves,
Yeah.
and each of us have to adjust that energy in our body and get used to that to where we're kind of constantly getting upgraded.
Totally.
we're, but it's like it might come with some headaches at first, and some headaches and some agitated and thirsty, hungry, whatever. But then we plateau, and then when we've kind of even back out, we'll get hit with another, I guess, until we're at a stage where we're all hopefully doing better
Mm-hmm.
as humanity, as people, as the world.
Yep. Yep.
So I don't know how long this go. I feel like it's been going on for a couple years now. I know we felt a lot of energies last year, but it's like, yeah, how long? Like,
Yeah.
is this going to be a forever thing until we get to a certain level, or what?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I guess we
And
will find out.
totally. And that happened, that shift that we were talking about happened on January 5th of 2021. So, oh, excuse me, 3 days ago.
Yeah,
And that is also actually when Amaterasu, oh no, she appeared to me yesterday. Sorry.
yeah.
No, night before.
But there is a lot going on.
Yeah, there really is. So, sorry guys. Anyway, I'm just referencing my book. I like to journal a lot, so I write everything down, and so I can go back and reference it. And I tell you, it's very, very helpful. But anyway, okay. So I think we're. You tell me though. Are we good? Are you good?
Yeah, I'm excited we got on. This is what I say. Like, sometimes we go these 2 weeks now, but it's not for the lack of wanting to be here. And like, this was like, Chris was like, "Hey, can we go?" I'm like, "Yeah, we can go." I mean, I think it was up to him and I. We can almost pop on daily with something, but it's us getting together, and life is so busy and everything is so busy, and just finding this time. But I'm just grateful that we were able to talk about this today and actually get on here today, because this was not planned. But
No.
you and I had been getting so much that we're like, okay, I really feel like we have to jump on here. So that's why I say, like, I don't know if we sound more unorganized than usual. I don't know. But we really did literally just say, hey, you want to jump on here and go today? And we did.
Yeah. I
So maybe we can pull some more impromptus.
and honestly, how it all worked out was pretty crazy because I actually left school today not even feeling well, and now I'm starting to feel a lot better. So it was really,
So that's,
really
I
weird.
told you last time after the podcast, no matter how I feel before we do this,
Hmm.
once I'm here, my whole energy shifts. And
Hmm.
I like to think that that's the energy that we're putting out to the people that listen,
Yeah.
because it's
Yep.
like, I know I can go from being like, it's an okay day, to getting on here and talking about these things that are of high vibration. And I actually start feeling that higher vibration. I hope that that's what's being put out to the people
Yes.
listening.
Yes.
And I feel it is. Like, I'll have friends call and say, I just felt really good after hearing you guys. And I think sometimes it's what we say, but I think other times I feel like it's simply the energy that's being created by talking about things in a loving way.
Totally. Well, you
Yeah.
know what? I mean, that's so true, Brooke, because we do love all of you guys, everyone. I
Yeah.
mean, there's absolutely a deep, profound love, and I don't mean to speak for you, I'm sure you feel the same. A deep, profound love for all of you, and for the work that we're doing, for why we're here. We're passionate about our purpose and being that light for everyone. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
um,
Starts with one and goes out.
yeah,
Keep going,
exactly.
little lights. Keep going, little lights.
And if I could tell you guys too, all of you are capable of getting these messages, of the connections. Every one of you are capable of getting it. I will tell you, the sacrifice thing that I talked about is huge. What are you willing to do to, not make excuses and really just go out there and do the work? To put in the time and effort. And I'm telling you, they want to help you. They are here to help you. They will help you.
Yeah.
You also, but you have to put movement, you have to put effort into it, and you will get there. So,
Yeah. And if
um,
you look back, if you're new, we've done several podcasts, I think at least two of them, about communication and how it looks, and as as opposed to how one might think it might look. because I
Hmm.
actually went a long time thinking it looked a certain way and then realizing like, oh crap, I've been getting it all along. So
Hmm.
but we've done several podcasts on communication and
Yes.
how to recognize it and how to get more and like I said, everybody's different. You guys may have tricks that we didn't even know, or you may have a way that you're getting communication that we have never even heard of how you get communication. Because for everybody, it can be so different.
Absolutely. Yes.
Yep.
All right, cool. Do you mind if I go ahead and start channeling real quick? It's
Yeah.
it's interesting because that energy really died down. Oh no, as soon as I say
Ah,
that,
no.
but no, we're here. We are here, my son, eagerly awaiting this opportunity to come forward. Yes, it is I, Amaterasu, here with a great purpose and message for this collective. And we do say collective, meaning for your audience members as well. It is so important for all of you to understand the potential that all of you hold within the heart space. And yes, this is where the potential occurs. This is where the resonation occurs within the human body. It is within the heart. This is where we all lie. The light within you is unlocked through the heart space, my children. And this is where we say for all of you to go when it is felt needed to you, for you, from you to begin this work. And we do hope that all of you heed this message when it is received, that it is a turn, your turn in this point to begin the process of transmuting energy. And we bring to you a great power and potential that all of you hold. It is not a separation from who you are, it is who you are when you begin to acknowledge thyself as an aspect of the divinity that you hold within you. You begin to understand your power, your purpose in this world, and the light forth that you are capable of bringing forward into this realm and transmuting the density that so holds in this realm, or so holds this realm back from ascending even higher at this time. But we tell you now there is great work that is occurring both on the back end and in the forefront of this realm on the human perspective. And Christopher and Brooke are huge aspects of this work. We are so grateful for these opportunities to connect with you and the information that we bring forth to you at this time. Amir Tarasu speaking is great love, light, and great purpose, mission. And it is all the collective mission to rise above the discord, to be one with the light. Yes, your work in this realm is great purpose, full, purposeful in not only this realm, but in others, in the heavenly realm as well. Your work put forth in this realm affects great efforts on the other end, for your souls are working to align itself with itself on a soul's level. And this happens when certain achievements are made on a soul's level that is made from the human body's third dimensional perspective. Hear us what we say at this moment, my children. Your souls are attempting to learn and rise above from other realms to begin to connect with other realms from the efforts and the lessons that are learned from this third dimensional realm. It starts here, though, my children. It is not a matter of rising to or below from a higher perspective. It is rising from below to the higher. And this is an important aspect to understand, my children. You are an aspect of the light, yes, and you do start from a light aspect. This is absolute. However, what we are attempting to tell you is that when you are in physical form, you are rising from below and not the vice versa. The soul comes from above and goes below, but the human body starts below and rises above. And this affects great lessons that the soul learns and attempts great connectivity to its higher selves. But the soul has already achieved this. It is only a matter of, okay, so I think they're saying the soul achieves this from other. I guess I should not interject. And we are grateful that Christopher will not interject such lessons. We will explain ourselves properly when it is time, my son. And we are grateful for the opportunity to connect with you now. What we tell you is that the soul is learning from itself. The higher self is learning from the discord that is occurring on the third dimensional level. And this third dimensional level is where the soul is attempting to connect to its higher self, to bring the higher self down, to allow the higher self to begin to resonate with the third dimensional self, which is the human body self that is currently inhabiting your own body as an audience we speak of at this moment. Very important to understand. And for this, we are very grateful. We shall bring about more information when the time is necessary. But we would like to inform you that your higher self is already collective, already born, already present, already attempting to connect with the third dimensional self. It is the third dimensional self's responsibility and diligence to attempt to rise in order for the higher self to come down lower and meet in the middle, if you will. And for this we are grateful. And I'm sorry, that's I'm seeing these images, guys, of the higher self and the lower third dimensional human self. And that's where I was trying to come in. I'm seeing that image, and we are grateful for this image, but this is not what we are attempting to communicate at this moment. We are attempting to instruct Christopher and the audience members that the low vibrational third dimensional self is and can communicate and interact with and acquire knowledge from the higher dimensional self. It is through diligence, work ethic, and effort that is needed in order for this to be achieved. And yes, sacrifice is an obstacle that must be overcome, a thought process that is holding you to believe that you are not willing to give up. But we tell you now, the soul is the true purpose here, and the soul's work is very important. Any sacrifice that is done in I don't think they're saying spite. Correct. In
in, in spite of.
Well, I don't think they're saying that. I think they're saying they're looking for a word. And I'm sorry, I'm trying to help them, but I think I'm trying to help them too much. In like in the name of the higher self will allow for this connection to be amplified. And we are so grateful. Thank you, Christopher. Amaterasu here. And we are hoping for a better connection on our next channeling session with Christopher, for his ego mind was too heavily involved in this one and causes discord, distance, misalignment, if you will, during this channeling session, not in information, but in the breaking up of communication that it comes in. And this is not something that we are looking forward to. We are hoping that Christopher can rise above and allow for this information to come through more freely as it is now. And we are grateful for that opportunity. And thank you, Christopher, for allowing this to come forward. It is appreciated, my son. Thank you. Thank you, Amir. Cheers. I appreciate your guidance.
Thank you.
Yeah, so sorry about that, guys. That's totally my
Well,
fault.
you know
I
what's
apologize.
interesting is that I don't like, yeah, it was you, but there was an interference because there was even an interference on the microphone in the
Oh,
middle.
really?
But then as soon as you said that, then it got clear. As soon as they said it was clear, the microphone was clear.
Oh,
So I think
interesting.
there was something purposely interfering you.
Yeah.
You know what I
Wow.
mean?
Yes, yes,
Because
absolutely.
like I said, it was an audible, there was an audible also
Mm-hmm.
interference.
Oh, interesting.
So
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for that. I appreciate
Yeah.
it.
And, I guess like, we can't help it when you're hearing stuff, but to start thinking, that because the whole time I was thinking was what I've been hooked on for like these last a couple of months. It's been so hardcore for me having people give a name to their higher self
Mm-hmm.
and a name to their lower self. And like, like I said, mine's Imogen and Frenchie down there. And then Brooke is the vessel. But it's that Imogen is coming down to bring Frenchie up. Like Brooke is just the
Yes.
vessel. Brooke is just the vessel to bring them together and to become one. But it's Imogen that came down to pull the Frenchie up.
Love that.
Yeah, and that here I am in the and I don't know, like I don't know if you could look at like Frenchie is 3D and Imogen is like 5D and me is 4D, like bringing it all together. Maybe that's not like the best, but it's just that Imogen is coming down using my vessel to pull the Frenchie up,
Oh,
and Brooke
it's
is just the vessel.
love the analogy. Love
That's
it.
just what, and I felt like that was almost even what you were trying to say when they were like that, not yet, but
I That resonates very much with what I was seeing and what I felt like they were saying. Yes.
yeah, But yeah, I'll have to listen to that again. But no, I think you did well. I think it was something bigger was trying to mess that little communication up. I mean, like I said, it was even audible.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, this has been an interesting day since this was just so, but I'm glad that we jumped on. And I just want to remind people again that we are in it right now. Man, we are in the thick of it. We are in the, and it is going to be so easy for us right now to want to think we have to pick a side and agree with somebody that sounds right and go against somebody that sounds wrong. But
Mm-hmm.
this is the test. This is the battle. This is the test. This is like the real deal going on right now. And I know that part of us is only human, but do your best to not engage and to transcend and rise above and send those situations love and send the light into those situations. And believe me, like, I know we think we have to take care of things ourselves. Believe me that they're working. The light is working. Just call on them. They
Mm-hmm.
are doing it. We don't have to, we don't have to verbally say something or physically do something. It's about that intent of setting the light because they are doing that work and they are busting butt up there. As much as you think the darkness is working here, they are working just as hard, if not harder, up there. And spoiler alert, love wins.
Amen to that, sister. Amen. Yes.
All right. Well, thank you,
You're welcome. Thank
Chris,
you.
and thank you, everybody. So hang in there, guys.
So true. Thank you
I
so
wish I
much,
could
guys.
say to make it easier. I don't think we're quite to that point yet. So just please hang in there.
Totally. Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Brooke. Thank you, everyone. We love you all, guys, so much. Enjoy your day, and we'll talk to you soon.
See ya.